Hi, my name is Bridget Gibbs, and I am going to go over Ragdoll A and B. Took me a minute to remember what I'm doing. So it's very, looks like a very simple pose, but it's a very active pose. And anytime we can get our head below our heart, our nervous system kind of revs up, which is also what we're trying to do in practice. So I'll just go right into it. So most of the time I like to try to get people, you just want hip width distance, so you don't want too wide of a stance or too small of a stance. So we don't want our toes touching like we do when we're standing in our Sun A, Sun B series, which we just came out of Sun B. We're going now into our Ragdoll. And so what I like for people to do is take a bend in the knees, and then you're gonna hinge at the hips. And so you're just gonna come forward into your Ragdoll position, and a deep bend in the knees at the beginning, especially when people are first starting, is a really great way. Once you can eventually, have a complete straight leg, we're keeping that posterior chain stretching all the way from our heel all the way to the front of our forehead. And so, but at the beginning, just cue for your students to bend their knees. A lot of times they're going to be way up here and they won't even be able to pull their chest onto their legs. But you want to try to get your chest on your legs, even if you have to kind of engage the core to pull your chest to do so. And then you're going to hook your big toes with 2 peace fingers. You want to inhale, look up and pull up. Shoulder blades are pulling down and back. And then as you exhale, you want to wing the arms out to the side and have a deep bend in the knees. As your students can advance a little bit more, then you want to kind of cue for them to get the feeling that they're internally rotating their feet just a little bit, and then kind of pressing into the outsides of their ankles. So as you can see, actively internally rotating my feet, not necessarily gripping your mat with your toes, but just internally rotating the feet, pressing out into the heels, hooking up the big toes, and then just leaning forward. Eventually the legs will be straight. The arm, again, the head and neck is relaxed. Shoulder blades are not pulled up into the ears, so shoulder blades are pulled down and back. But at the beginning, a deep bend in the knee is really, really nice. When we move to our Ragdoll B, you want to again take a deep bend in the knees and then try to step as far onto the hands as you can. We don't get a ton of counterbalances in our yoga practice, so this is a great opportunity to give your hands and wrists a little love. So I like to cue that my students kind of give their wrists a little massage with their feet. And then again, we want to inhale, look up, flat back. And then exhale. This is where we do want the legs straight and the chest can be far, far away. So these are our yin and yang energies. And so you, again, just want to lean the head forward. Arms are still winged out the side. Shoulders are not pulled up into the ears. Shoulder blades are pulled down and back. And then again, just allowing the legs to work hard while the top half is just kind of relaxed. So again, our yin yang energy. And just take a few breaths here. So we like to breathe for 5 breaths. So inhale. With sound, we're making our breath audible. And then if you'd like to try to advance the pose just a little bit, you can see if you can start to tiptoe into your hands, but again, remembering that you're stepping on what will stop your face from crashing into the ground. So this is a posture that you can come into later, but it's definitely a really hard one, so we want to be very mindful of that, because again, we are stepping on what is stopping our face from hitting the ground. And then you'll just slowly release the hands, take the hands up to the waist, and then very slowly, you don't want to rush that coming up. And then that is Ragdoll A and B. So we'll see you for the next pose.